I'm going to answer the question, okay? How do you take a bad habit or an unwanted habit that you have and replace it with a better one? And what's the easiest way to do that? I'm going to show you a really, really simple way to do it, so it's not crazy, it's not super hard, and you're not kind of going cold turkey, okay? So recently, I've really gotten into Tony Robbins. Anybody else heard of Tony Robbins before? I've really gotten into him. He's really, really cool. I believe he's a psychotherapist. I think that's his title. He's also a life coach. But he has this really cool concept, and it's called the 6 basic needs for humans. 6 basic needs. And this concept that I recently discovered is very, very cool. And I want to take it and I want to apply it to weight loss and to your health journey. Okay. And basically this whole concept says there's 6 needs that we all have. Okay. And every action we take, every decision we make, everything we do is because we are searching for one of those needs. Does that make sense so far? Very, very basic concept. So these needs, all right, these are 6 needs that all humans have, and is everything that we search for. So certainty, uncertainty, significance, connection, growth, and contribution. The 6 needs that every human searches for and needs to be happy, healthy, and balanced, okay? Now what I want to do is I want to break these down, okay? I'm going to explain what they are, and then by the end of this call, what I want you to be able to do is see which one of those needs is the most prevalent in your life and see how maybe you can go look for it in a more constructive way. Does that make sense? So let's start with our first need, which is certainty. Okay, so the first basic human need is certainty, right? Certainty meaning security and safety, right? We search for security, we search for safety, we search for control. We want to know what's happening in our lives, right? We want to be able to predict our future, right? Very simple. Everybody wants this. There's good and bad to this, right? So good is you're organized, you're control, you have a routine, and you got your life together, right? Too far on the negative side, and you become like a control freak. So who would consider themselves a control freak? Put your hands up. Who consider themselves somewhat of a control freak? Couple, depending on the situation. So certainty, if it's not met in healthy ways, will come out as you being a control freak. Whether you're a control freak in every area or just certain areas, that's you seeking certainty and not getting it. Is this making sense? It's pretty cool stuff when you break it down like that. So a habit where you feel like you're getting overwhelmed because you're not in control. So say you have restricted yourself in a diet for so long, and that's you being in control. And then you're finally exposed to a pie or a cake or some type of party, and you go completely overboard and you binge because you've been restricting yourself for so long. Even you control your binge, right? By talking yourself through it and thinking, oh, I'll just start again tomorrow. Like everything is so controlled that when we slip up, we really slip up. So that's the need of certainty. We want security. We want to know things are safe. We want to know that we can rely on our husband. We can rely on our job, right? That's why we get married, to secure our future, right? If you didn't want certainty, you wouldn't get married. You just stay dating. But you want that certainty, right? So it comes up in all areas of our lives. So that's thing number 1, okay? So take a second and ask yourself, would you consider yourself a control freak? And do you think you search for certainty a lot? Some of you will, some of you won't, okay? Now moving to the next need. This is called uncertainty. So it's the opposite of certainty. We crave this uncertainty. So this is if you would consider yourself impulsive. So you would quit a job without having another one lined up, or you'd be like, yeah, I'm down to go skydiving tomorrow. Like we make impulsive decisions. We don't think too much. You're not an overthinker. It's kind of the opposite of certainty. You're not an overthinker. You just act. This is what Coach Ryan would fall under. One of his primary needs is definitely uncertainty. So that's that one. So are you impulsive? Are you really good at putting yourself in new situations? Could you go up and talk to a stranger? No problem. Can you put yourself in comfortable situations and not be fazed by it? Okay. Would anybody consider themselves impulsive in any area of life? And this one isn't sometimes, yeah, that one's not super, super common, but that one's there. Okay, so those are your 2 needs, okay? Now the next need is significance, okay? And this would probably be my highest on my list, significance. So I'm always searching for significance. And that means I'm searching for validation. I'm searching for someone to be noticed. I'm kind of searching to feel special, to feel unique. right? So this is when you search for compliments. This is when maybe you get upset when someone doesn't thank you for cleaning something, right? We want to feel appreciated. That's significance, okay? And significance, again, has a good side and a bad side, right? If you feel special, you make other people feel special, right? I get to feel special by making you ladies feel special. So it's like the ultimate form of significance for me, and I fulfill that need that way. But the negative side of significance, and I find a lot of mothers have this one. The negative side of significance, and maybe you suffer from this, is you either, number one, surround yourself with people who are a couple levels lower than you, so you feel higher, kind of like that bully mentality, right? Why does a bully pick on the small kid? Because it makes him feel better. So you're not necessarily that you're a bully, but you surround yourself with people who aren't on your same wavelength. So maybe you have family members that are negative, or maybe you have friends that don't support your weight loss journey. So that makes you feel special and unique by being the only one that does, right? Or for mothers, and I see this trend a lot, they want to feel so significant so badly that they almost, they create a codependent relationship. You guys know what I'm talking about? So subconsciously, they want their child to need them, not want them. So they cook for them, they clean for them, they do their homework for them. They want them to need them so that they feel a sense of significance. You guys know anybody like that in your life? Maybe it's you, maybe it's your friends and their kids, maybe it was your mother, right? It's definitely there. Mothers have that. I think that's one of mothers' biggest insecurity, having their kids not needing them, right? So do you find yourself in the significance need as high on your list? Do you almost form codependencies because you're afraid of not being needed? That's a big one for a lot of us. So who feels that they want significance? So either on the positive side where they want positive recognition, or on the negative side where they form these codependencies because they want to be needed so badly. So that's the third one. Now, the fourth one is connection, okay? So simple connection, love. We all want deeper relationships with people, right? And again, positives and negatives. So take a second and think, is my need for connection high on my list? When I make decisions, when I have thoughts, what are they motivated by the most? Is it by forming deeper connections? Do you spend time with people? Do you enjoy people's company? Do you hate small talk, right? And now the negative side of this, and maybe this is you, I think this has been a woman in one stage of your life or another, you settle. Do you find yourself that you settle a lot? So you settle for a relationship that maybe is not the best, but you think it's the best you can do and you really want to please the other person, right? Do you settle for someone else mistreating you? Do you settle for someone else putting themselves above you in the relationship? Does anybody else consider themselves a settler, or has in the past and you kind of overcome it? Definitely there. That's one of the more popular ones. So it's this need to always have this deeper connection with somebody. Okay, so that's that one. Now the next one is growth. Okay, so this is where you always want to learn, you always want to do better. Generally, people who have the need to grow generally do really good in their job or their career, or they're the people that are like really good at anything they put their mind to. We all know one of those, right? Like the straight A students are good at whatever they want. So would you consider yourself having a high need to grow? And this often comes up in perfectionism. Anybody consider themselves a perfectionist? This one's a little bit more common. Yeah, sometimes. And the goal here is all 6 of these need to be balanced. Okay, if you haven't figured that out yet, all 6 need to be balanced. So maybe you are already balanced. But this growth one, okay, so growth is good, right? But it comes out in that perfectionist manner where you're always seeking to grow. You're always seeking to learn. You are always unhappy with where you are right now because you see where you want to go, and you have such high expectations of yourself. And the negative side of that is what happens to you when you don't meet those expectations. You guys know what I'm talking about there? You ever beat yourself up? You end up in this negative mental downward spiral. So if you consider yourself a perfectionist, you have the high need of growth, okay? And then last but not least is our contribution need. So the need to contribute to society, contribute to something, okay? If this is a high need in your life, okay, you are at risk for suffering from self-neglect, Okay? So would you consider yourself neglectful to yourself? So putting other people's needs in front of you, putting your community's needs in front of you, putting your job's needs in front of you, because you have this greater good in your mind and you're always trying to serve, always trying to do better, but then you forget about yourself. So those are the 6 needs, right? And if you think about everything we just covered, pretty much everything you do, can you see how they're fueled by one of those 6? Can you guys see that? Any decision in and outside of weight loss are fueled by the 6, okay? So now I want you guys to take a second, and I want you to write down, if you have your cell phone, you can type it out. I want you to write down all 6 of these needs right now, because we're gonna number them and see where you lie, okay? So you're gonna write down certainty, uncertainty, significance, connection, growth, and contribution. So write down a list of those 6 needs. And then once you have that list, ladies, I want you to number them. So pick the one, not that you want to have, the one that you currently have as the biggest driving force in your life. Which one of those needs is the biggest driving force in your life? What is one of the needs that you search for and that you act the most for? Do you seek control? Do you seek perfectionism? Do you neglect yourself? Do you move with impulses? Do you look for recognition in everything that you do? So number those from 1 to 6, 1 being the top in your life, 6 being the lowest in your life, okay? And then in the comments, what are they? So tell me in the comments, tell me your number 1 and your number 6. So certainty, uncertainty, significance, connection, growth, contribution. So write number 1 and then write number 6. So what's the highest in your life and what's the lowest in your life? So one more time, certainty, uncertainty, significance, connection, growth, and contribution. This is going to be really cool for you guys because you're going to find out what motivates every one of your actions. So once you figured out your number 1 and your number 6, I want to see that in the comments. So write number 1, what is it? Number 6, what is it? You don't need to write the ones in the middle. I just want to see what's your highest priority and what's your lowest priority. So Bev, Arlene, Vithu, Nat, everybody write it down. Lorette, Mackie, Angela. So we got Corrine, she says contribution is number 1 and uncertainty is number 6. All right, let's get it going. Cheryl is perfectionism is number 1. So that means she is growth oriented. And then uncertainty is number 6. Growth and uncertainty. All right. So there's a pattern here. So most people will either be around significance, certainty, or growth. And then usually uncertainty is at the bottom. But now we know these. All right. So take a second and take in that whatever your number 1 is, that is what drives you in life. Searching for that need. How amazing is that? Mind blown. Now you know what motivates your actions, right? Every action you make or every decision you don't make is guided by fulfilling this need. So now you know the driving force behind why you behave the way that you do. Is this becoming clear? So if you have an unhealthy habit, okay, find out what need that habit is trying to fulfill. So think of one habit you want to change. So one bad habit you have and write it in the comments. What's the one bad habit you want to change? Whether it's health related or not. Maybe you're very reactive and you don't listen well. Maybe you binge eat. Maybe you are lazy and push your workouts off. What is it? So Arlene, going to bed late. There we go. Let's get some more. What's that one bad habit you really, really don't like? Letting my family treat me like crap. Yes. Procrastination, uncontrolled eating, pushing off tasks. Perfect. Now, those habits you just wrote, ladies, what is that need you are trying to fulfill? Write it down. What is that need you are trying to fulfill? If your family's treating you like crap, why are you doing it? Why are you accepting it? Because you are searching for that connection and you don't care where you get it. So then what need or what habit can you replace that bad one with to find a better connection? People pleasing, procrastination, binge eating, exactly. So take that habit, find where that need is coming from. There's only 6. And then now you know that, you say, what habit can I replace it with? Not how do I get rid of this habit? Because you know when you try to completely take something out, it swings in the opposite direction and it never ends well. That's why you can't go cold turkey if you're an alcoholic. Or you're smoking cigarettes. Like, it just doesn't happen. A lot of people spiral out of control when you just completely take something out. So now you know the driving force behind your biggest habit that you don't like. How can you take that core need and find it in a productive, constructive habit? Does this make sense? It's very simple, very simple. So instead of thinking, oh my God, how do I get rid of this habit? You can say, okay, how do I replace this habit? And then now you have a direction of where you should go with that new habit. It makes it way easier and way less overwhelming if you just realize all you're trying to do is satisfy a need. So if you fight with your significant other a lot, what are you trying to do? You want connection, you want attention. So how can you find that need in another way? Well, you sit them down and you tell them that you're looking for XYZ, and they'll give it to you, right? We think everybody can read our minds. Who's guilty of that? Who's like, you know why you should be mad, but you didn't tell anybody, right? You know what you did. Well, actually, no, I don't. I can't read your mind, right? We all done it. You've all done it. I've done it. I still do it. It's a bad habit. But if you take a second and realize where it's stemming from, it becomes a lot less overwhelming. That binge eating that you think controls your life, that you think is an impulse and you can't control, what's that need? Well, guess what? It's uncertainty popping up. It's uncertainty. You're looking for some uncertainty in your life because you super control everything else. And now this one thing is coming up as binge eating, and you're looking for the need of uncertainty. So how can you find that variety and that uncertainty in a more healthy way? Is that making sense? So it's not a habit that you're stuck with. It's not a habit that is permanent, because all it is you seeking a need. And you can replace that to find the need somewhere else. So anything that you are struggling with, any habit that pops up, right? There's habits we know we have, and there's habits you don't know you have yet, but they'll come up, right? This health journey, this weight loss journey, it's a forever journey. So you think you're going to be perfect the rest of your life? You think you're just going to get it one day and it's all sunshine and rain and rainbows? No, right? So there's going to be new things that pop up every time. And a lot of the times, I'm not sure if you guys have noticed this, a lot of the times our bad habits and our thought processes stem from our parents, right? Our parents try so hard to not give us anything that, to give us a better life than they had. And then they do, but then they give us their own insecurities. They give us their own flaws that they had and they didn't know they have. So now that we're kind of dissecting this, we have a chance to break that cycle, right? So now we know what we do have that's wrong, that we want to change. And now we're discovering what we have that we don't even know we have, and we're going to change. So we are breaking that subconscious cycle. So it literally ends with us. And going forward, anybody in our lives who interacts with us and who we care about, we glow around them, and they glow because they spend time with us. And we're such a good influence on everybody in our lives, because no one can be a victim around us. We don't take that. We don't accept that, right? Because you guys aren't victims. You restore responsibility. Any bad habit you don't associate with, and if you love them, if you love the person enough who has a bad habit, you tell them and they change it and you move forward together, or they don't change it and you limit your time with them. So now not only do you know what's motivating your actions, ladies, now you can kind of, if somebody's acting out, or if you're in a fight with somebody, or somebody has a habit that you don't like and that you've been nagging them to fix for so long, but they're not changing it, now you know what that basic need is. You can start to kind of reverse engineer it and find that basic need and say, okay, why don't I try replacing it with this habit for them instead, or suggest replacing it with this. Does that make sense? Very, very cool stuff. Very, very simple, but it plays a huge role in giving you more direction, right? Because we are in our heads so much. You are your worst enemy and your best friend at the same time. But sometimes, you can't find that best friend version of you, and you're just beating yourself up, and you're like, look how much farther I have to go on my journey. Should I give up? Why am I even doing this? But if you just reel it down and relax and say, I'm searching for something. What am I searching for? I can easily find it somewhere else. You can snap out of all these emotions. You can snap out of your emotions. You no longer become a slave to your emotions because you know what you're looking for. Instead of sitting there scratching your head saying, is this permanent? Am I stuck with this? Now you have a strategy to implement, so you're no longer a slave and you no longer have to settle for these habits that you've built, right? Because for any lady who's been in the academy for a while now, you are a complete 180. You are a new person, completely new. And I've had quite a few ladies tell me how people are coming up to them and like they're old friends and they're like, I don't even recognize you anymore. Not even physically, but like your mentality has changed. Your demeanor has changed. Like your aura has changed, as cheesy as that sounds. Like you're just projecting this different energy into the universe and it's coming back to you. And it's absolutely amazing. And it's so exciting. And it is not always fun. And it's a challenge. And you know, you're going to lose people along the way who don't see eye to eye with you. And I know quite a few of you on this call are starting to cut off people in your life. Quite a few of you on this call are going through that hard decision right now of, should I try or should I let go in certain relationships? But now taking this new little tool we've discovered today, those 6 needs, you can be like, okay, how can I incorporate this? If this person is really, really bugging me and I'm really considering limiting my interaction with them, how can I incorporate this into their actions? How can I analyze it and see what they're looking for and then project it myself so then they're happy? Maybe that will change them, right? So just a little food for thought. Take this and use it for yourself, okay? And use it for those around you who you love and want to take on this journey with you. Okay, because you're going to level up like crazy and you want those you love to level up with you. You don't want to leave them behind. But if you don't do it strategically, they're going to stay down here. They're going to be vibrating at a low frequency because you're high functioning level. And then, so now you have your number 1 need. What was your number 6 need? Like a lot of those number 6 needs. Now, again, these 6 needs, okay, are the driving forces between all of our actions, and they do need to be balanced. So if you think there's a huge balance, so if that number 6 on your list is really neglected, and you can't remember the last time you put yourself in a situation where you fulfilled that need, you should start incorporating it more. You're going to be a more well-rounded person. You're going to be able to cope with things better. You're going to be able to react to things better, and you're going to be more mentally tough by having those 6 needs balanced. And you're less likely to live in extremes, right? All or nothing. You're less likely to have to be stuck with the completely on or completely off. Like I was for freaking years. I was like all in or all out. And that doesn't have to be the permanent. That doesn't have to be permanent, right? So take these 6 things, okay? Take a second, ladies. I want you to reflect on how you can apply this to your life, okay? Because it's nothing, like you don't get anything done from just listening. So how can this go towards your life? So whether you want to take this and apply it to your life, to your relationship, to your career, or you want to take it and apply it to your weight loss journey and your routines this week, okay? I mean, take a second and say, okay, so do I need to channel my most important need more positively? Or do I need to incorporate my most lowest need more frequently, okay? And how are you going to do that? So in the comments, I want to know your game plan. So what are you going to do with this information that I gave you? Take a couple seconds. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? Is there a habit you're going to try and fix this week? Is there someone you want to have a conversation with this week? Do you want to sit down and have to analyze your habits a bit more? What do you want to do this week with this information? Very, very important, right? Every Wednesday when we have these calls, you should be leveling up. Your mind should be 1% heightened every time we have these calls, but only if you use it. So Arlene says, very cool information. We'll have to watch and rest. Yes, you're going to have to rewatch it for sure to kind of let it all soak in. Ashley, I want to incorporate this into my work life. Yes, Ashley, I like that. Take it into your career, right? Because guys, how many hours a day do you spend working? A lot. A lot. That's what you do with your time the most. So you might as well freaking enjoy it. Screw this working for the weekend bullshit. That's not a life I want to live. No more working, no TGIF. Why are we so thankful it's Friday all the time? Every day should feel like Friday, and that's what we're going to work towards, okay? Cecilia, analyze my habits and being mindful of my thought process for the uncertainty. There we go. So you're taking that one need, and you're going to focus on that need. Good job. B2, I've already started working on one of my habits, but I'm going to try to work through my others. Yeah. So even insignificant habits that you don't think are good and you don't think are bad, right? The ones that lie in the middle, right? Middle is the same as bad. Mediocre is the same as bad, right? If you're not growing, you're dying. So anything that you think is in the middle, mediocre, or could be improved, needs to be improved, right? Good enough is not good enough anymore. We're Fit Queen, we're in the academy. Good enough is not good enough. That's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to elevate you to a place you've never been before. So Alyssa, we'll watch the video and take notes after. Beautiful. Nat's a night shift worker. Every day is the same. Yeah, there you go. Same. No TGIF. Me neither. But I like working every day. I don't mind it. Nat, I want to talk to the person I'm having issues with, but terrified to do so. Yes. Has anybody else had a big conversation? I know, Mackie, you've got some people out of your life. I know a couple ladies have got some people out of their life. Does anybody have a really tough conversation with anybody, or did the people just organically kind of go out of your life? Yeah. Most of the time they organically go out of your life. They just grow apart. A lot of my friends, actually, I mean, they're still friends, but I don't speak with them very much anymore. We just organically grew apart. We just, there's not much in common anymore. Their mindset doesn't align with mine. So if I waste my energy on them, they're going to bring me back down to their level. And I worked too hard to get up to this level, right? You guys worked too hard to get to where you are today to let one person bring you back down. So think about that. What else? I actually had a recent convo with another friend, and it was straight up with them. Good job, Mackie. That is next level. It is not easy, especially if it's someone you love, right? Because, I mean, for the most part, you could tell off a stranger. I mean, I'm sure you guys have all told off a stranger every now and then, whether it was someone who bumped into you on the subway or whatever. But it's a lot harder to do it to someone you love because, number one, you care about their feelings, right? But most importantly, we care about what they think. But that is the biggest thing that holds you back in life ever, caring what anybody else thinks but yourself. So really ask yourself, like, who are the people in life worth having? Why do I care about their opinion, right? Because if you care about their opinion, that means it's going to excite you when they're proud of you, and it's going to upset you when they're disappointed in you. But should somebody have that power over you to give you such extreme emotions? Should anybody have that power over you? No, right? No. I mean, easier said than done, of course. But no one should have the power to spike your emotions. That's you. You should be so calm in your center that you're just so self-assured in yourself. No one's opinion matters. No one's opinion matters because you know the truth and you have a game plan. So why would anybody else's matter? And that's something I'm really really working on too. And I'm just going to go off on another topic. Growing up, I was like the good girl. I got straight A's. I was always the good girl. And because my father always raised me with have integrity. And so I acted with integrity. And the worst thing I could do in the world was disappoint Dad. Like if he said, I'm disappointed in you, that was like a knife to the heart. That was like my worst thing. That was the worst thing for me. And what I found as I got older, that not wanting to disappoint him, it kept me safe. It kept me it made me make good decisions. But when I got older to where I needed to grow as a person, it actually held me back. Is anybody else in this situation? Like your parents' opinion really holds you back, or maybe a best friend or a significant other. It really influences you. And so the thought of doing something that would disappoint my father paralyzed me to the point where I would just not make decisions because I didn't want to make him bad. But then I realized I'm living my life and I'm only going to learn if I make mistakes. And at the end of the day, if I'm 50 years old, 60 years old, 70 years old, and looking back with regret, that's my fault and nobody else's. So that was my biggest overcome lately in life. Like my leveling up is letting go of needing anybody's approval. Does anybody else feel like that? That's like a huge weight lifted off your shoulder, like not needing anybody's approval. You can do what you want. You can say what you want. You can fail as many times as you want. It doesn't matter because you love yourself. You're in this for you. So what anybody else thinks is completely irrelevant. Yes, you love them. Yes, you respect their opinion, but their opinion doesn't shake you. Do you listen to it? Do you contemplate it? Yes, but you do it from a strategic standpoint, not from an emotional standpoint where it shakes you, where it rattles you. And that's really, really key. And if you find that that's happening, again, that's not a healthy habit. So bring it back to those 6 needs. What is that need that I'm not getting, that I'm unable to fix this relationship? I'm unable to fix this emotional connection I'm struggling with. It all comes back to the 6th need. Find what that need is and just channel it in a more productive way, and your life will be so much easier. Way less stress, way less overwhelmed, and way healthier because now you're actually balancing your actual needs, not what you think you need, right? Because we have a to-do list a mile long of everything we think we need to do, right? And it's not about that. It's about what you need, and you only need 6 things in life. You only need those 6 things: certainty, some uncertainty, significance, connection, growth, and contribution. Those are your needs. Take them, think about it, ladies, apply it to your life, and then I want to hear how you guys apply it to your life, okay? So, quickly write everybody's takeaway in the comments here. What is your takeaway from today? What's the big, like in one sentence, summarize what you took away from today, so you guys can cement it in your mind and always think back to that one sentence. How do you want to summarize how this affected you today? It's a very cool concept. It's definitely helped me organize my thoughts better, because it's so easy to like just go crazy with your emotions, but this can really organize your thoughts better. So let's see. Studying the 6 needs will make me even more self-aware. Yes, I've made a personal commitment to deal with my crap. Yes, deal with your crap. Don't take anybody else's crap, because you have a lot of crap that you dealt to yourself. So deal with that. I need to do me and stop worrying about pleasing everyone. Yes, what's that need? Fix that need. Find that need and fulfill it in a more productive way. It made me realize that I've been driving my decisions. Yes, what's been driving my decisions all the time? And now you know, like if you know the main thing driving your decisions and you don't like the outcomes of your decisions, maybe you need to switch needs. That's another way that you can apply this. What else? Balance and stop worrying about others. Yeah, exactly. 6 needs are all you need in life. It really is. That's all. That's just on the basic level. That's all we ever search for as humans. More balance, uncertainty in my life. I like it. I know something is not healthy, then I need to do something about it, whether I lose people in my life or not. Yes, that is a huge one. All right, ladies, take this information, sit with it, apply it, even if it's just 1% better, okay? It's not about being perfect, it's about showing progress. So apply it to your life, okay? Just because this call ends doesn't mean that discussion ends. If you have more questions about this, if you want to break down one of your habits and you want to really find out what these needs are, you can comment down below. This is posted in the Facebook group. So you can go in the Facebook group, Academy group, and comment down there. And let's keep this conversation open. This is such a fascinating topic. Every day, every week, every month, you're going to be realizing a new thing that you do that you want to analyze. Because now you're just going to be really, it's like cool to just analyze why you do things. Not necessarily because you want to change them, but now you're like, oh, cool, why am I doing this? Oh, okay. So let's keep this conversation in particular open, and always comment, seek, like maybe you're having a bad emotional week. What's that need you need? What's that need that you need and that you're searching for that week? And it becomes much easier to deal with. Okay, ladies? I love you. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy your night, and I will see you inside the Facebook group. Bye.